And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Guys, we have got some big news, and it's a big blow for Keir Starmer, of course, and the Labour government. We said that there was going to be a test straight away for Keir Starmer following this disaster budget. We spoke a lot about it over the last couple of days, and everybody's outraged. We spoke about it from the likes of, taxing workers, then breaking their manifesto pledges, to, of course, making us pay £1.8 billion for the digital ID rollout. There's so much stuff that's disastrous with this budget, and it's reflected in the votes. It's reflected in the public consensus, and already Labour have lost a seat. Guys, let's get into the video. As always, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more. And if you haven't already followed my X page, please do. It's British Dan. So yes, guys, as you can see, Reform UK celebrates Sunderland by-election win as locals need someone there to fight their corner. Reform UK is celebrating a by-election success after winning a seat on Sunderland City Council, previously held by Labour. Councillor Ian McKinley secured victory in Heaton Ward poll on Thursday night with 1,270 votes, while independent candidate David Geddes was second with 689. Labour representative Lauren Laws finished in third with 611 votes, followed by Liberal Democrat Mia Coupland with 130, and then Conservative Adam Aston with 61. As stated, it marks the first time a Reform UK candidate has been directly elected onto Sunderland City Council and gives the party one seat out of 75 on the local authority. Previously, Paul Doney represented Reform UK on the City Council in the Washington South Ward, but only after defecting to the party following his election as a Conservative, and he ultimately lost his seat in 2024 local polls. The Heaton by-election had been triggered, though, following the death of a serving Labour ward councillor and former Deputy Councillor Leda Claire Roundtree. Let's get over to what Nigel Farage has said. Obviously, he's very ecstatic over it, and you can see the win there by a massive majority there from Reform. The gain from Labour. This is big news. This just goes to show that there is zero trust inside this Labour government. A huge result for Reform in Sunderland last night. Labour pushed into third place. Bridget Phillipson would lose her seat if this was repeated at the next election. And that's the key here, ladies and gentlemen. Whilst, yes, it is a sort of local election, local by-election, it still shows the sort of consensus in that area. And as you can see, Bridget Phillipson, a senior sort of minister, if you like, would lose her seat. 46.3% Reform UK won by, and this is going to be alarming Keir Starmer. As you can see what Nigel Farage said here, no wonder Keir Starmer can't stop attacking me. Now, of course, I also seen this sort of find out now poll. As this user has said, we are getting closer, the Labour Party with 0 seats. But if you look at this, by the way, quickly, this was the Find Out Now poll, the most recent one. So we're looking at this now, sort of the changes from the 19th of November. This is the most latest one, as we can see. Reform UK are 31%. That's massive. Conservatives up to 18, the Greens up to 17, Labour down to 15. Labour are sitting in 4th place, and this is only going to get a whole lot worse after, of course, this budget. Liberal Democrats in 12. But I'm also looking at this, and we're going to dig into a little bit more detail in a second. But look at this. This is really good victory for the right of politics. Right now, the Conservatives with 18, Reform with 31. That's pretty much just under half of the country would vote right-wing. Whatever you want to say about the Tories at this moment in time, they've got very right-wing sort of pledges, and I can't believe they're even up to second right now. Shows they're doing something right, I suppose, and they're not quite dead and buried. They have more of a chance by the looks of things in these polls than Labour would. But what I'm loving to see here is Reform and the Conservatives, and we're seeing the sort of Overton window shift. We're also seeing that the public are waking up to more of a sort of right-wing government, which is absolutely glorious to see. Now, the Conservatives, of course, not going to get any ground on Reform, but from this point of view, I'm saying it's quite good to see these two at the top. That's what you want. Reform as the party in power, then the Tories as the party in opposition. You know, that would be a lot better for our country, and it really would take us in the step in the right direction. But otherwise, guys, there is going to be some more work conducted after the sort of budget next week, so we'll find out a little bit more just to see how far Labour fall. Could they go down into sort of Liberal Democrats territory? Who knows? But this user here on X, anyway, also said that he kind of modelled it out on what it was like. And whilst the guy has come out here and showed where the sort of seats would be won, although he did put a disclaimer saying this projection is modelled from polls, so it can be inaccurate. Individual electoral districts are difficult to project. I am not responsible for the use of projections in social media posts, campaign, or gambling, and subsequent consequences of these actions. So a bit of fun here, ladies and gentlemen, so don't take it as a gospel. But as you can see, this would be the sort of map of the United Kingdom. And if you're looking at it from a reform standpoint, this is what things would look like we're inside the UK. Yeah? Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting indeed. And you can dig down. I can put a link to this sort of, this thread if you like, and you can sort of check your own constituent and see where you would sort of be should a general election be called tomorrow. But remember, guys, it's just a sort of play around there. But certainly what you're seeing here is if that a general election is called, Reform would get 367, Greens with 83, I think that's quite scary, Lib Dems 78, SNP 45, Conservatives 37, other 26, and the Plaid Cymru 7, but Labour with 6. That's bonkers. That's minus 405 seats. That is crazy, all in the space of a year and a half. You can understand now why Keir Starmer is totally obsessed with Nigel Farage and the Reform Party, and of course trying to bring them down in the public domain. Of course trying to say that they're part of Putin, or at least love Putin, trying to say other things about the Reform Party, and just trying to demonize them. Of course trying to use the school system to push propaganda to children, bring the voting age down, and of course see illegal immigrants coming in. But it's not working at this moment in time, because that's where Labour are. And that's where Labour are at no fault of their own. Now, whilst I do stand by not many people voted, and the reason why they got into power in the first place was because not many people voted. The people that were going to vote didn't vote. They won by sort of 10 million votes, which is hardly the majority of this country. But to see the fall in literally less than 18 months is insane to me. It literally is. They'd be left with 6 seats, minus 405. And time is ticking after the budget when we get this announced. 0 seats. I think that's a realistic possibility on what we can see within this country. Madness. But, yeah, huge news for Reform, guys, as, again, another win for them as they celebrate the Sunderland by-election win, as locals need someone there to fight their corner. But, guys, do let me know your thoughts on this down there in the comment section below. And where do you think where do you think this is going to lead Keir Starmer? What do you think of the sort of voting intention at this moment in time? And, of course, it's a poll at the end of the day, but they do prove fairly accurate. That's why Keir Starmer is so irked by the Reform Party. They've proved accurate in years gone by, and certainly something different. But yeah, do let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.